Revolutionary greetings, family. I thought I should take some time and explain why the Arise Black Child movement puts so much emphasis on the psychological disposition of a black child and why we are grounded on the mental revolution of a black child in order for him to rise. Jan Smuts, once a prime minister of South Africa in the apartheid regime, was invited to the Oxford University in 1929 to give a memorial lecture on Cecil Rhodes. He spent a significant time of his speech focusing on how legislation should be formulated and executed to oppress black people. He pointed out that before legislation is framed, a sufficient amount of time must be spent studying the minds of African natives. He said that legislation shouldn't be rushed until the mind of the black people is thoroughly studied to see how it can be best customized for them. This tells us then that the apartheid regime thrived on the psychological domination of black people in order for their system to run smoothly and systematically. The system of apartheid, therefore, although it had an economic agenda to marginalize black people in order to give white people uncontested access and power to economic resources, its roots and foundation, its backbone, was psychologically driven. It was fueled by the perversion of black minds. Apartheid was and continues to be a science that haunts the black nation, even 26 years after it was discontinued. The essence of apartheid was based on two main psychological lies: the lie that white people are superior to all races and that black people are inferior. And over time, both whites and black people believed in this lie. That's why to this day you have white people thinking that they are smarter than black people, that they are more civilized than black people. And the list really does go on. But what is more depressing, what is more heartbreaking, is that many black people are walking around with their heads face down. They are demoralized, thinking that they are the scum of the earth, thinking that they are the most cursed race. And this has sadly resulted in so much self-hate. Many black people feel like their black skin is a prison, a symbol of misfortune that holds them back in life. As a result, many of them pursue whiteness as a standard of beauty, intelligence, and civilization because we have been psychologically molested. Sadly, many of us don't know who we are. Our brilliance and our brain power, our intelligence and our pride are buried under layers and layers of inferiority, low self-esteem, self-hate, and fear. Our greatness is trapped within us. Family, I want to make it clear that this psychological calamity will not just magically end with time. It will continue to harass us for many years to come if we don't deal with its roots. The worst criminal act is not to kill the body, it is to actually kill the mind. Because when the body is dead, we bury it. It's dead and we forget about it. We move on with life. But when the mind is killed, Not only is that mind in doom, but the generations to follow, because such a mental state is passed on from generation to generation, because there's no way that bondage can reproduce liberty. Therefore, family, as important as it is to address social injustices, to address economic emancipation, we have to deal with the backbone of oppression, which is the mind. We must aspire to be mentally free. Economic emancipation without psychological emancipation is a recipe for self-destruction. It will give rise to self-sabotage, greed, and even oppression of fellow black lives. Steve Biko once said, "The most potent weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed." In other words, if we strip the oppressor of our minds, he loses ammunition to destroy us. It is for this reason that we as Arise Black Child are so passionate about the re-engineering of the black child's mind so that he can have a reinvented awareness.